as Turkey is concerned. And while Sweden has actually even amended parts of its constitution to fortify its anti-terror laws, it's still not enough for Ankara. So when will Sweden understand exactly what it needs to do?
This is indeed a matter of importance, not only for Turkey, but for also Nato and NATO enlargement. And in this case, the point of concern is Sweden. It is not only enough to put those into some laws and some procedures, but is important. As our Minister of Foreign Affairs of Turkey, Mevlut Cavusoglu, said, we also need to see some corresponding action from Sweden, which so far Sweden failed to deliver that. In international relations, actions speak louder than words. And recently, on top of that, with disrespect to Islam and further aggravating declarations, and they are clearly not helping to Sweden entering to NATO, clearly, but also not helping the situation at all.
But of course, also Cavusoglu said, we as a nation, we definitely support the expansion of NATO. So do you see it just as a question of time? I thought it was particularly interesting that the Finnish government said, let's now just put this all on pause until after the elections in Turkey, which we believe will possibly happen in the middle of May. And that's also important because this is a domestic issue in Turkey as well as being an international one. Do you see it as eventually being a formality that those two countries will be part of NATO?
I think in either case, it is an important and legitimate security concern of Turkey. Therefore, it needs to be considered above domestic politics or politicization. Those speculations are in the air in that regard. And yes, Minister Cavusoglu mentioned that Turkey's position is not being against NATO enlargement in principle. Turkey supports that. That is why relations and therefore Turkey's support to Finland is at a better level. But if Finland genuinely is destined and committed to NATO membership, then it needs to act accordingly.
Giray Sadik, always appreciate. Giray, thank you so much indeed.